In today's video, I want to talk about perm parties, specifically their potential, significance, and necessity as a Dungeons player in Hypixel Skyblock. I'll be discussing why you should have one, how you should go about finding people for your team, and the traits you should look for in a member. If you're unfamiliar with the term perm party, it's short for permanent party, and it basically means a group of people that you commonly and consistently run dungeons with in the game. The main purpose of having a perm party is to counter the atrocious, horrific nightmare that is Party Finder, commonly referred to as Monkey Finder, where your party members are usually Kata 16 Juju Nons, Blaze Throwers, or individuals with IQs equivalent to the number of girls they've slept with. And these are Skyblock players we're talking about, so you already know it's 0. But being a part of a perm has so many benefits. For example, occasionally you get moments like these. Why are there 3 of you in one room? Now there's all 5 of us in the same room.
Oh, all 5 of us! What's your skin?
It's a cat girl, mate. It's pretty uwu. Oh, I love cat girls.
Yeah, no more ooh for you.
Yeah, guys, subscribe to
But the main plus side of having a perm is you know how good each player is, thus having a consistently skilled team. In Party Finder, you occasionally get some Kata 45 sweat that carries the entire run, while most of the time you could swear it's an actual ape at the keyboard. And this leads to unpredictability and inconsistency. Knowing the strengths and weaknesses of each teammate can allow you to adapt your runs, compensating for potential flaws and using strong points to your advantage. For example, during phase 2 of the Necron boss fight on floor 7, at least one player should be on the pad to lower the pillar, while another should hold aggro to either upcrush or downcrush the boss. If 2 players are especially good at these 2 tasks, they can do it every run, leaving room for the other members to improve in other aspects. Having a perm also significantly decreases downtime, or the time in between each run. When using Party Finder, sometimes people disconnect, leave the party, you have to re-queue, and randoms typically are slow to re-enter dungeons as it is. Having a perm party means being able to do several runs with minimal downtime, overall increasing the efficiency and speed in which you run. So how should you go about finding members for your own perm? There's several options. The first option is simply finding skilled individuals on Party Finder, and I know it sounds crazy, there are actually skilled people on Party Finder, but it's true. If you run into someone who you can tell is skilled at the game or someone you click with, you can always shoot them a friend request or simply ask if they'd like to join you for dungeons. Although that sounds unlikely, I met every single original member of my perm through Party Finder, and the team simply expanded after that. Refraction, one of the biggest Skyblock YouTubers, actually met Deathstreaks, the first player to hit Catacombs 50 through Party Finder. Hello, it is a new day. You might be able to tell because I'm wearing a different shirt. That is how clothing works. You wear different clothing on different days. But speaking of Refraction, a lot of Skyblock YouTubers actually have their own Discords. For example, GoodGuyKev. But in these Discords, you might notice this channel called Dungeons LFG, or it might be called something different. But basically what LFG means is looking for a group, and you can tell here that a lot of people are just looking for players to join their dungeon group. So you can go on here, look for someone that might be looking for someone like you, or make your own post on here to look for. As you can see, this person's looking for an F7 perm party. This is DKMCC server. You can tell that he also has a Skyblock LFG looking for group channel. One of my good friends, Powliner, he has his own server. They have an LFG Dungeons channel. You can look for people that want to run dungeons. You can always join my server. My server kind of sucks though, so you might want to remember that when you join. If you're in a decently sized guild, or even better, a dungeon guild, then I'm sure you can ask plenty of people to join you. Any friends you already play the game with are also some of the best candidates you can find for perm parties because you already have connections and relationships with them. And the relationship you have with your teammates is actually more important than you think. I highly recommend looking for people you naturally play and work well with together. You have to remember that you're going to be grinding with these people for several hours almost every single day. If you hate them, you're going to grow sick of them really fast. So if you have no friends, better go make some. For example, for the most part, I believe that me and my perm members all have a pretty good relationship with each other. Mistakes happen, and sometimes a run is thrown. That's just a natural part of dungeons. And when someone does throw a run, we typically laugh it off and are able to joke about it. Being able to do that takes so much pressure off of the game, and overall makes it a much more enjoyable experience for everyone. You should also avoid having players who are outliers in skill, typically incredibly behind everyone else. When my own perm was forming, there were some individuals that didn't exactly make the final cut just because of how far behind they were from anyone else in skill. If you have someone who is nowhere close to being qualified enough to run the floor that you main, you might have to reconsider if it's better to just let them go. When building your perm party, you should also be aware of the class that everyone plays. The last thing you want is a party of 5 tanks or 5 healers. Oh, who am I kidding? No one plays healer outside of master mode. The class setup really depends on what floor you're running. Each floor has its own ideal assortment of classes, but typically you want one tank and one archer because these are the two classes that you can't dupe. With classes like mage or berserker, you can be more flexible because multiple people can play these classes in your party, but you seriously cannot dupe archer or tank. It also really helps to have people who are willing to improve. When I met my perm, I was Catacombs 28. I had less than 10 floor 7 runs. Since then, I'm closing in on Catacombs 36, and I've made an effort to learn new tactics and adapt to new metas. If you have someone who just simply outright refuses to improve, they're not going to be able to keep up with you and the rest of your teammates as you climb to higher floors. Some additional things I do want to cover. I highly recommend you either join a Discord server or make your own with your perm party, where you can communicate with each other outside of Hypixel. That way, if one of you ever wants to run, they can simply ping the others or message them. And Discord also allows you to voice chat with your perm if you're comfortable enough. Voice chat is especially useful if you're running floor 7 or master mode, where someone can quickly make it noted if they're struggling with a terminal or need someone else to teleport somewhere in the dungeon. And trust me when I say, when you're struggling to complete Simon Says when Necron is about to send you to a new dimension, you're not going to have the time to spare to type out help. Now, there's probably a lot of things that I missed out on or forgot to mention because that tends to be the pattern when I make videos on these sorts of things. I just forget everything, and then you guys tell me in the comments everything I missed and everything I did wrong, and that's going to happen in this video as well, likely. But that's my take on perm parties. There was something that I really didn't see the significance or importance of until I got my own, and I realized just how useful it can be and just how much it speeds up your progression in Skyblock. Anyways, that's going to be it for the video. Alright, see ya.